Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 3 and we would like to present the Chapter 7 of the Accounting International subject, which is the title is Foreign Currency Transactions and Hedging Foreign Exchange Risk. So the member of the group are myself, Darky Burstanto, and my friend Ale Nurani Rashid, my friend also Putri Kunajla Kotrunada, and my friend Jason Emmanuel Kusuma. So the first one is being presented by Alain Nurani Rashid. To Alain Nurani Rashid, time is yours.
Okay, the first topic is about foreign exchange market. First, each country has its own currency as a medium of exchange. Second, international transactions require currency conversion. Third, exchange rate equal to price of one currency in terms of another. Fourth, exchange rate fluctuate due to economic factors. Fifth, fluctuations create risk in international transactions. Next, about exchange rate mechanism. So from 1945 until 1973, the mechanism is fixed exchange rate system by Bretton Woods. And from 1971, fixed system is ended and currencies began to float. Now, current system are floating or market determined, pegged which controlled by central bank, and the last is euro adopted by member countries since 202. Okay, next is about foreign exchange rate. First, exchange rate are published daily. Second, interbank rate means wholesale rate between banks. Third, spread means difference between buying and selling rate. Fourth, direct quote means domestic price of foreign currency. Last, exchange rate constantly change and affect cash flow. Next, we have spot and forward rates. So, spot rate means current exchange rate. Second, forward rate means rate for future transactions. Third, forward contracts reduce exchange rate risk. Fourth, no upfront payment required. Fifth, forward premium means forward rate more than spot rate. And the last is forward discount means forward rate less than spot rate. Next, we have option contracts. So option means right, not obligation, and to change to exchange currency. Second, call option means right to buy, which put option equals to right to sell. Third is strike price, means predetermined determined exchange rate. Fourth, options require a premium payment. Fifth, option value means its intrinsic value plus time value, and last, influenced by exchange rate, interest rate, time, and volatility. Okay, the next topic is about foreign currency transactions. So, first, international trade requires agreement on settlement currency. Second, transactions may be denominated in exporter, importer, or third country currency. Third, a foreign currency transaction arises when payment is in foreign currency. Fourth, deferred payment creates transaction exposure to exchange rate risk. Last, exporters risk currency depreciation while importers risk currency appreciation. Next is about accounting issue. So the key issue is how to record exchange rate effect on receivables or payables. Second, exchange rate change affect revenue and receivable value for exporters for exports. Third, for imports, they affect payables and cost of goods. Fourth, currency fluctuations may increase or decrease domestic cash received or paid. The last is exchange differences must be properly reported in financial statements. Okay, next is accounting alternatives. Uh, so accounting alternatives has two approaches exist. The first one is one transaction perspective not permitted, and the second one is two transaction perspective which required by IFRS and US GAAP. Second, next, one transaction means exchange affects just sales and receivables. Third, two transactions means sale and collection treated separately. Fourth, exchange differences recognized as foreign exchange gain or loss in income. And the last, gains or losses reflect financing decision, not operating performance. The next, we have balance sheet debt before payment. So exchange rate may change before payment is received or made. Second, monetary items must be remeasured at the closing rate. Third, change recorded unrealized foreign exchange gains or losses. Fourth, gains or losses recognized using the accrual approach in net income. And the last, ensures financial statements reflects real economic impact of currency risk. So the next topic is about hedging foreign exchange risk. Foreign currency transactions expose firms to exchange rate risk before settlement. Value of foreign currency assets or liabilities may change over time. For example, currency depreciation reduces the domestic value received from foreign sales, and this creates uncertainty about the final amount of cash received or paid. The next we have risk management through hedging. So companies use foreign currency derivatives to reduce exchange risk. And the main instruments are first, forward contract means lock in a future exchange rate. Second, currency options means give the right, not obligation to exchange at a fixed rate. Next, hedging can cover first, recognized foreign currency assets or liabilities, second, unrecognized firm commitments, and highly probable future transactions. Next, we have purpose of hedging. First is to reduce volatility in financial performance. Second, improve certainty of future cash flow. And the last is to protect against unfavorable exchange rate movements. Next will be delivered by my partner.
First of all, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jason Emmanuel Kusuma, and in this time I would like to explain accounting for derivatives. The development of derivative accounting standards was largely influenced by the work of the International Accounting Standard Board, which issued AIS 39 and later replaced it with AFRS 9. In the United States, similar guidance is provided under ISG 8050. There are two fundamental principles in derivative accounting. First, all derivatives must be recognized on the balance sheet at fair value. Off-balance sheet treatment is not permitted. Second, hedge accounting is only allowed if strict requirements are met, including clear designation, documentation, and effectiveness testing. The main challenge in derivative accounting is determining fair value. For forward contracts, fair value is calculated based on change in forward exchange rate and discounted to present value. For foreign currency options, valuation models such as the Black-Scholes models are typically used. Another important issue is how to treat unrealized gain on and loss. If the derivative is held for speculation, changes in fair value are recognized immediately in net income. However, if the derivative qualifies as a hedging instrument, the accounting treatment depends on the type of hedge applied. So overall, derivative accounting ensures transparency by reflecting the economic value of financial instruments in the financial statements. The next slide, I will explain the hedge accounting. Hedge accounting is designed to reduce earning volatility by matching the gain or loss on a hedging instrument with the gain or loss on the hedged item. To qualify for hedge accounting, three main conditions must be met. First, the hedge must be formally designed as either a fair value hedge or a cash flow hedge. Second, the hedge must be highly effective in offsetting changes in value or cash flows. And the third, the hedging relationship must be properly documented and at exception. There are two main types of hedge risk. A fair value hedge protects against change in the fair value of recognizing assets, liabilities, or firm commitments. Gain and losses from both the hedging instrument and the hedged item are recognized immediately in net income. A cash flow hedge protects against variability in future cash flow. In this case, the effective portion of the hedge is recorded in other comprehensive income or OCI, and later reclassified to the net income when the hedge transaction affects earnings. Therefore, hedge accounting improves the quality of financial reporting by aligning accounting results with the company's risk management strategy. The next slide, I will explain the hedging combination. The accounting treatment of a hedge depends on several key factors. First, the type of item being hedged. It could be a recognized foreign currency assets or liability, an unrecognized firm commitment, or a forecast transaction. Second, the nature of the exposure. It could involve an asset or a liability. Third, the type of hedging instrument used, such as a forward contract or a foreign currency option. Fourth, the nature of the risk being hedged, whether it is a fair value exposure or a cash flow exposure. Each combination of these factors results in different accounting treatments. For example, a forward contract used to hedge a receivable under a fair value hedge will be accounted for differently compared to an option used as a cash flow hedge. Therefore, understanding this combination is essential to determine how gains and losses should be recognized in the financial statements. And last, I will explain hedges of foreign currency denominated assets and liabilities. These sections focus on hedging recognized monetary items such as foreign currency accounts receivable or accounts payable. This hedge can be classified either as a cash flow hedge or fair value hedge. Under a cash flow hedge, the foreign currency receivable or payable is remeasured at the spot rate, and the exchange gain or loss is recognized in net income. The derivative is measured at fair value. The effect portion of the derivative's gain or loss is recorded in accumulated other comprehensive income, or AOCI. Later, it is reclassified to net income to offset the exchange gain or loss on the hedged item. Under a fair value hedge, both the hedged item and the derivative are adjusted to fair value. Gain and losses from both are recognized immediately in net income. Other comprehensive income or OCI is not used. The key difference between these two approaches lies in timing. Cash flow hedge defer gains and losses in equity before recognizing them in income, while fair value hedge recognize everything directly in profit or loss. In conclusion, hedging recognize foreign currency assets and liabilities help companies stabilize earnings and reduce the impact of exchange rate volatility and financial performance. The next presentation will be delivered by my partner.
The next one is forward contract used to hedge a recognized foreign currency denominated asset. Introduction to the foreign currency denominated assets and liabilities. Firms holding foreign currency receivable or payable face exchange rate risk. Currency value may change before settlement, affecting domestic currency value. To reduce risk, companies use forward contracts as hedging instruments. Hedges can be classified as cash flows hedges or fair value hedges, depending on purpose and effectiveness. Measurement of hedge items and hedging instruments. Foreign currency asset or liability is remeasured using current spot rate at each reporting date. Resulting exchange gain or loss recognized in net income. Hedging instrument forward contract is measured at fair value to recorded on a balance sheet. Accounting treatment depends on hedge type. The first one is cash flow hedge or fair value hedge. Accounting for cash flow hedges, recognition and measurement. Hedge item first adjusted using current spot rate to exchange gain or loss to the net income. Hedging instrument measured at fair value, changes recorded in AOCI or equity. Effective portion of hedge reclassified from the AOCI to net income to offset hedge item. Forward contract discount or premium amortized over hedge period to recognize in income. Option hedge change in time value amortized over contract life. Effect on the financial statements. Hedge reduces earnings volatility caused by exchange rate movements. Temporary gains or losses on hedge to recorded in AOCI first and then reclassified to the income. Forward contract discount or premium recognized gradually as income or expense. Main objective to stabilize cash flows, and the last one is reduce fluctuations in reported earnings. Next, accounting for fair value hedge recognition and measurement. Hedge item is remeasured using the current spot rate. Foreign exchange gain or loss is recognized immediately in the net income. Hedging instrument is measured at fair value. Gain or loss on the derivative is also recorded directly in the net income. Effect on the financial statements. All gains and losses affect profit or loss immediately. No one use of AOCI in fair value hedge accounting. No one separate amortization of forward premium or discount. Net income reflects the difference between gains or losses of the hedge item and derivative. The main objective is to protect the fair value of assets or liabilities, not the future cash flows. Treatment of forward contract discount or premium. Forward contract entered at discount a forward rate smaller than spot rate. Entered at premium a forward rate is larger than spot rate. Cash flow hedge. Discount or premium is amortized over contract life and recognized in net income. Fair value hedge. Discount or premium not amortized separately, reflected through the gains or losses in net income. Represents total cost or benefit of hedging foreign exchange risk. Hedge effectiveness. Hedging relationships must be formally designated and documented at inception. Hedge must be expected to be highly effective in offsetting exchange rate risk. Effectiveness is high when currency, amount, and maturity date match between hedge item and derivative. Overall financial impact of hedging. The first one is reduces exchange rate volatility. The second one is makes cash inflows and outflows more predictable. The third one is total impact equals to derivative gain or loss minus forward premium or discount. The last one is hedging improves risk management and financial stability through it, though it does not eliminate at all costs. Next. The next one is foreign currency option used to hedge a recognized foreign currency denominated asset. Introduction to the currency options as hedging instruments. The first one is foreign currency options are an alternative to forward contracts for hedging. The second one is a put option gives the right, not obligation, to sell foreign currency at a fixed strike price. The third one is protects against unfavorable exchange rate movements while allowing gains from favorable movements. Key characteristics of a foreign currency options premium and value components. Option requires upfront Premium payment fair value consists of the first one is intrinsic value to the amount option is in the money. Time value to the extra value from uncertainty and time remaining. At expiration, time value becomes zero. Minimum and maximum cash flow. The first one is put option guarantees minimum cash inflow. The second one is exercise when exchange rate moves unfavorably. The third one is if exchange rate improves, option expires and currency sold at better spot rate. The fourth is provides downside protection with unlimited upside potential. Measurement of currency options. The first one is options must be reported at fair value on the balance sheet. The second one is fair value usually based on the market premiums or valuation models. Example like modified Black-Scholes. Fair value changes due to three conditions. The first one is exchange rate movements. Second one is changes in intrinsic value. The third one is decline in time value as expiration approaches. Accounting for option as a cash flow hedge recognition and measurement. The first one is hedge item remeasured using current spot rate to the gain or loss in the net income. Changes in option fair value recorded in AOCI. Effective portion reclassified from AOCI to the net income to offset exchange gains or losses. The fourth is changes in time value recognized as expense in net income. The financial statement impact. The first one is net income stabilized as exchange gains or losses offset. The second one is option time value reduces income to represents cost of hedging. The third one is AOCI temporarily stores gains or losses until reclassified. The fourth one or the last one is net benefit is equals to total option gains minus option premium or hedging costs. Next. The next one is accounting when option is exercised versus expired. If exchange rate is unfavorable or option exercised, option in intrinsic value increases to the option exercise. Gain on option offsets exchange loss on hedge item. Time value declines to zero at expiration. Firm receives minimum protected cash inflow if exchange rate is favorable or option expires. Option expires with zero value. Currency sold at better spot rate. Remaining AOCI balance classified to the net income. Firm benefits from favorable exchange rate minus option premium. Accounting for option as a fair value hedge recognition and measurement. Gains and losses of option and hedge item recorded directly in net income. No one use of AOCI. Time value not recorded separately. Option premium included in total gains or losses. Financial statement impact. No deferral of gains or losses. Net income fluctuates with fair value changes. Total income over hedge period same as cash flow hedge. Hedge destination affects timing only, not cash flows. Overall economic effect of currency of option hedging. Option guarantees minimum cash inflow. Premium represents cost of risk protection. Hedging reduces exchange rate uncertainty, stabilizes expected cash flows. Total economic benefit equals to net option gain minus option premium. Hedge type affects timing of income recognition, not total income or cash flow. Next. Next one is hedges of unrecognized foreign currency or firm commitments. The nature of foreign of currency firm commitments has 3 points. The first one is blinding agreement to receive or pay fixed foreign currency in the future. The second one is exposure to exchange rate risk exists before transaction occurs. The, the third one is typically accounted for as a fair value hedge. The second one is fair value hedge accounting for firm commitments. The first one is gains or losses on hedging instrument recognized immediately in the net income. The second one is firm commitment measured at fair value and recorded on balance sheet. The third one is exchange gains or losses on commitment also recognized in net income. The fourth is offsetting effect reduces income volatility. The third one is measuring fair value of a firm commitment based on a forward rate changes. The first one is fair value measured using the forward rate movements. Second one is gains or losses of hedge and commitment closely offset. The third one is produces minimal net income volatility. Based on the spot rate changes, we can conclude that fair value based on the spot rate and discounted cash flows. Second one is gains or losses may not offset each period. Third one is full offset achieved over entire hedge period. Next. The next one is forward contract as fair value hedge of a firm commitment initial recognition. Forward contract and firm commitment not recorded or executory hedge documentation is prepared. Subsequent measurement. Forward contract is adjusted to the fair value or gain or loss in the net income. The firm commitment also adjusted, offsetting gain or loss in net income. Firm commitment shown as asset or liability. The settlement is or forward contract settled and removed. Firm commitment closed. Balance transferred to the net income. Total income equals to the final hedge cash flow. Economic effect. Net gain or loss on forward account equals to economic benefit of hedging. The fifth is currency option as a fair value hedge of a firm commitment. Initial recognition has 3 points. First one is option recorded as asset at premium paid. Second one is firm commitment not recorded initially. The third one is hedge documentation prepared. Subsequent measurement. Firm commitment measured at fair value, gain or loss in net income. Option adjusted to the fair value, gain or loss in the net income. Settlement. Firm commitment fulfilled and removed. Option exercised and expires. Total net income equals to the transaction cash flows. The last one is economic impact of hedging a firm commitment has 4 points. First one is gains or losses of hedge and commitment offset over time. Second one is exchange risk recognized before transaction occurs. Net hedging gain equals to improvement versus unhedged exposure. The last one is accounting affects timing only, not the total income or cash flow. The next is being presented by Putriku Najla Kotronada.
Okay, next we'll explain about hedge of forecast foreign currency denominated transaction. First, a hedge of forecasted foreign currency transaction is used to reduce risk from a transaction that will happen in the future, because the transaction has not happened, is not recorded in accounting at the beginning. The company uses a derivative such as forward contract or a currency option. This derivative is measured at fair value and the gain or loss is recorded in OCI first. When the transaction finally occurs, the accumulated gain or loss is transferred to net income. The goal is stabilize future cash flow. Okay, next. At the early stage, most hedge gains and loss do not go directly to net income. They are recorded in OCI first. Only when the forecasted transaction happens, the amount is moved to the net income. This helps reduce a fluctuation in earnings and makes financial performance more stable. Okay, next, the use of hedging instruments. Company use different strategies depending on their risk policy. Some hedge all exposure, while others hedge only part of them. Company may use forward contracts, current options, or natural hedging. Natural hedging happens when receivables and payables in the same currency offset each other. The main purpose is to reduce risks and protect financial stability. Okay, next. The last is foreign currency borrowing. Companies sometimes borrow money in foreign currency for operation or lower interest rate, but this creates exchange rate risk. The loan is recorded using the spot rate at the borrowing date. During the loan period, the company remeasures the loan using the current exchange rate. Any exchange difference is recorded as a gain or loss in net income. The answer financial statement reflect real currency change. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
So that's all the presentation by group 3 for chapter 7 Accounting International. If we had any mistake, we want to apologize. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.